Elvis, I'll start with you. It looks as though the ECG always waits for these bills or debts to pile before they embark on some of these drives. From what you said,
that cannot be the case in every instance. For instance, if you are talking about water, we all say water is life.
Yeah.
So if ECG decides to disconnect water because of bills, the consequences for everybody is huge. So sometimes they look at the effect of disconnecting an institution and think that it's better to judge than just to go and disconnect. The issue is that they are both utilities. And there are major issues affecting both of them. So sometimes ECG will understand why it cannot hold Ghana Water to strict account. Because both ECG and Ghana Water are 100% owned by the state. And it's the state that must invest in institutions for them to be effective. If you look at their books for maybe the past 20 years, you will not find any significant investment from the state into these institutions in terms of retooling them with modern equipment to actually cut down their technical problems. Also, you look at it and you realize that consistently, anytime PURC actually pegs the rate to tariffs, both ECG and Ghana Water will come out and say that the amount fixed by the regulator is far below what is required to recover their cost of production and distributing the utilities to us. But we ignore them. And so long as the rates or tariffs approved by PURC is below what will enable them to pay for what they are doing, obviously it's a huge loss that we are talking of over there. And then if the state, which is the 100% owner of these institutions, is also not investing to retool and make them effective, it means that they are working with ineffective equipment, archaic equipment, which definitely leads to loss of technical losses. So at the end of the day, both institutions will find themselves in huge debt. The question is, if the tariffs are below what is needed to recover cost, and for us consumers, we are happy that PURC is approving rates that are not commercial level rates, so we are enjoying it. Bottom line is, because the two institutions are 100% owned by the state, when they incur debt, the debt is for us, the people of Ghana, to pay.
Right.
And therefore, this is the kind of situation we find ourselves in. So you see, we, as a country, as I said, we need to explain to our people that if a government will run, it's the people. We finance the government. The government is not a business making any money from anywhere. As I said, if the government does not collect taxes, if it about our natural resources and what comes out of it, loans and grants, these are sources that government is going to make. If government has a SOEs that make some return on investment, fine, adds to what government revenue is. So if we are happy that we are not paying the commercial rates, and these utilities keep complaining every time that the rate approved are below what is needed to recover their cost, and the same government, which owns 100% in both companies, is not investing to make sure that they cut their technical loss, giving them efficient and modern equipment to make sure that a lot of the technical issues as a result of inefficient equipment can be resolved, then both of them will continue to incur debt. And when they incur debt, the bottom line, government is the shareholder. So government owns the assets and liabilities. So if there's debt, government is the one should be paying. Where is the government paying from? Our taxpayers' money. So we need to face the reality and tell people that, look, if even ECG is retooled or what is to become so efficient today, yet the tariffs approved are below recovery, we will still have the same problem. So until we face these issues boldly, we will just be repeating these things year after year. We can't resolve it because the critical issues that need to be addressed for us to solve the problems, we seem to be shying away from it. And then when exercises like this happen and then disconnections happen, then we are all up in arms because we know that if ECG disconnects Ghana water and their pump stops working, water will not flow to our homes. And I will now be struggling for water. So we'll start talking. Our bottom line is, if we will continually get here, if these two issues I've mentioned are not resolved, and the management of these institutions as well. As you said, apart from institutions that will say, maybe hospitals and some other places say they are critical institutions, so they should not be disconnected. There's so much to be done by these institutions, okay? There's so much to be done. You go to even places like Dansuman and other places, as I speak to you today, there are houses that don't have ECG meter. They are on fixed rate. You ask yourself, what is the ECG office in those areas doing that in such prime areas that as of today, still there are homes who don't have meters. They are still running on fixed rate given to them by the I think that we need also to look at massive decisions about management of SOEs. That's one problem. See, most of the times, it becomes like appointment to this a reward for people who help party to come to power. So we are not rather looking at whether the person is delivering efficiency or not. That's what I've always said. That me, if any president comes and says, if I'm appointing you as SOE head, give me a plan as to how you are going to fix these problems. Okay? Right. The resource you need to fix it, I'll give it to you. But then if you fail, I'm sacking you because I want the systems to work. Until we get to that point, the CEO will come and tell you that, but we wanted government to do this investment. Government didn't do it. The rates when they brought it, we said it's not enough. So if you are accusing us that we are not working enough, where do we get the money to go around and do these things? And I think that they also need to be very, very customer friendly. Because sometimes you pass by, you see a Ghana water best pipe. You even call, if you are not somebody like a journalist who know maybe somebody at the top, and call the person and say, you've seen a big pipe best and water is wasting here. Sometimes you call the normal lines and sometimes people will not even answer. Sometimes when they answer, oh, okay, we will report to the whatever the fault team, and that they will come. 3 days, 4 days, you pass by, and the water is still leaking. The question is, who is monitoring to make sure that in that area, the officer in charge is not doing his or her work, and the person is held accountable that, look, when this report was filed, we have it here, but 3 days later, the thing is still there. Why is that nobody acted on it? So I think that there are a couple of issues in these utilities. And you see, the reason we need to fix utilities is that it's clear that all of us cannot live without them.
True.
Today, if you are at home and the sun is a bit hot and there is no electricity, you realize that you find it it's uncomfortable being in your own house without electricity. If you wake up in the morning and there's no water, look, Dansuman, where I stay, like 4 days, up to about 3 days ago before the water came, the water just went off without any announcement from Ghana Water. We woke up and the water was not flowing. Nobody told us anything.
Right. Thank you, Elvis.
We were hoping it would come, it would come. For 4 or 5 days, there was no water. Now we have to be running around with yellow 4 gallons to be looking for water.
Thank you. Thank you.